What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren, along with his fellow podcast brothers, Dorian, the D.A. Alberton. It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. And Daryl, D-Dub Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans. This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real, unadulterated sports talk. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel. Sports Chasers Podcast. We can be found on all podcast platforms, plus all social media platforms by searching Sports Chasers Podcast. All information is in our bio. Please be advised, at times there may be some explicit and colorful language. We are the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin Warren!
Wow, what an introduction. Made things fall. What's up, everybody, tonight? What's going on? Hope everybody is well. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct. A lot of things to go and get in tonight. Going from my left to right, Dan is with us tonight, the hockey guy. Dan, what's good, man? How you doing, sir?
How much? What's up, fellas?
Yo. Yeah, what's up, man? What's good?
Everything's good, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Where'd Kevin go?
He fell off or something. I'm
off?
here, brother.
DA, what's up?
Where Kevin there? I'm
What's up,
good,
DA?
man. You know,
Yeah, man, it's good to be here.
you better leave that internet dude alone, Kev. Let him walk where he wants to. Let him drive as fast as he wants to. If you keep on giving them tickets, boy, you're not gonna have anything. So you better relax.
I don't even know what that is anymore. I haven't done that in a long time. So
Hey, you got to relax, man. He's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay. He drives a little fast and weed's legal in a lot of places, so don't worry about him.
Oh man,
Definitely
a lot to get in tonight. Glad everybody's well. Mike Mills and the Angry One will not be with us tonight. So it's only us four, and I'm going to get into something real quick if my computer would work right.
Uh-oh. There you go.
No, I'm good. It's just what you call it? I don't have no internet issues tonight. I'm good.
Waffle House is up and running.
I'm about to say, yeah, right? The waffle.
Yeah, man.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you hardwired in the Wi-Fi.
Oh, why? I thought we fixed that this week.
No, we are good to go, man. So
right.
Just trying to I found what I'm looking for, and no, I didn't find what I'm looking for.
Well, it's all right, brother. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you're looking for, I'm not sure what you're looking for.
What exactly are you looking for, sir?
I'm looking for something that I had queued up, and it looks like with this screen, it looks like it's not trying to cooperate with me. But I found it. I found it.
Yeah, unqueued.
Yeah, unqueued. But
We'll have to get these show notes right. Get you printed out copies.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think
like you were Shaq.
I think we're gonna have to get production for real. And
you need
we got to get somebody on payroll. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're ready. So everybody knows what the elephant is in the room. So the N.F.L. this week, they got hit with a very much of a bombshell this week with the claims of Brian Flores that was made in federal court in the 9th District in New York City. Let me just read a little bit from Mike Florio. The Brian Flores lawsuit against the NFL and at least 3 teams will feature plenty of important witnesses. Few, if any, were more important than Patriots coach Bill Belichick. Flores, a former Dolphin coach, claims he became aware of the Giants' plan to hire Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll to be the team's next head coach after Belichick accidentally congratulated Flores on getting the job, which Belichick meant to congratulate Dayball. Flores contends that Belichick has more than inside information. Flores contends that Belichick actually influenced New York's decision to hire Dayball. I think there are back channel conversations and back channel meetings that are had that oftentimes influence decisions. Flores told Jay Williams of NPR's podcast, The Limits, I think Giants' hire process is a clear example of that. Bill Belichick is a clear example of that. His resume speaks to that. It was clear to me the decision was made with his influence. That's part of the problem. That needs to change. There needs to be a fair and equal opportunity to interview and showcase your abilities to lead and earn one of these positions. There's more to read. Mike Florio, I listened to his show in the morning during football season. He's very good. He's very thorough. DA will get into some of the ideas that he had this week, which I think will be revolutionary, as D-Dub discussed earlier this week about some of the things we talked about of changing some of these things. But we're going right ahead. This was very damning. Oh, and by the way, with Flores accounts, he's also stating when he was with the Dolphins that the team owner, Stephen Ross, wanted to give him $100,000 for every time that they lose. And he wanted them to tank. And Flores was like, nah, I'm not for that. And thus that's also in the lawsuit too. So we'll start off with D-Dub. D-Dub, go in.
Hey, it's not even really nothing to go in because we done known that this has been going on. Stuff has been going on like this for a long time. They implemented the Rooney Rule. They knew they had an issue. So I don't know where I'm to the point now because I've been listening so much to what I just listen to what people have to say, and I still don't know how to fix this. You're not going to be able to fix this particular problem as far as thinking that you're getting a fair shot, all right? Because if we own a business, we hire whoever we want to hire. You're not going to be able to. I can't legislate. I think me and Kevin talked about this. I can't legislate what's in your heart. I can only hope that you give me or you give any man, woman, or whatever gender a fair shake. And that's it. That's what any man and woman wants, just a fair shake in life, period. End of story. Nobody, I'm not asking for no handout. I'm not asking for any favors. I just ask for a fair shake. And that's it. So I think the bigger problem we got, well, I shouldn't say the bigger problem. It's a lot of problems here to unpack. We got to start with Stephen Ross. And I'm not looking for the man to take his team away. But however, he has done something that can get his team taken away. When you offering bribes to a coach, you are messing up the whole, how can I say, the ecosystem of sports. You're asking a coach to, first of all, we got a black coach, right? So you asking a black coach who doesn't get a chance as it is to tank games. Those games that he is losing is going to go on his record. Is that correct, fellas?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So he's the one to answer for his record. So what is he supposed to do when he goes to another job interview and presents this record of losing? Who's going to hire you?
Well, this was my record when I was told not to win, and here's my record when I was told to lose.
Right. I mean, you understand? So Stephen Ross, if these allegations against him are true, we have an issue with him, with the NFL, the integrity of the shield. And, you hear all this about the shield. Well, we got an issue here. That's one. And, just forget about the black-white thing. We just talk about now you are affecting games. And now we got the gambling community. Now you push the gambling. Now, what's the gamblers are putting money on this thing, and to figure out that to think that this thing is rigged. I hate to even say that. To think that this is rigged, this starts making you think about all these games that you've seen over the last several years. One of them, the Patriots coming all the way back 20. What was it? What was the score? 28-3.
28-3.
You start thinking about these things, and I don't want to think about that. This game is a fraud or a fix or rigged or any kind of way. But it starts opening your eyes, man. You start being like, man, is Santa Claus really real, or is this? You know what I'm saying?
Santa Claus really real.
Go ahead, fellas. I'm done.
Dan, go ahead.
I kind of feel the same way. Like the integrity of the game, like that's putting like a black eye on that. But and I get it. Like I saw somewhere where they were talking. Hell, if they want to bring Flores as our DC to Pittsburgh, bring them on. We'll take them. But like you said, when in essence you're hiring a guy for a team that's probably not that good to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're telling them, hey, tank so we can get a better draft pick. And then you fire him because he's trying to do the right thing and win games. And like you said, where's he go after that? And you go into another interview, and I get the whole, Rooney Rule, you got to interview people and stuff. But like, you said, DW, it's kind of a farce, yeah, you have to, but at the end of the day, you can't make an owner hire a certain person. And there's so much, like, I liken it to hockey because not the same situation, but the way the NFL does their hirings for head coaches is similar to the way the NHL does. They recycle the same guys. They go from place to place to place.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it like Tortorella. He was at the Rangers. He was with Columbus. I think he was with Philly. How's this guy keep getting interviews and getting a head coaching job when there's all these other candidates out there?
What's my man out there with the Raiders now? That's the Bill Belichick disciple.
Josh McDaniels.
O'Brien. Oh, yeah, Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels, who turns down jobs.
A failed coach.
Yeah, he terrible. The Denver.
Oh my God. Okay. Dan, go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of the same thing. They keep bringing these same guys back on different teams instead of giving somebody a shot. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't know who Mike Tomlin was when we hired him. Like, I knew he was like the DC corner, but they're in the other. They was what, Minnesota? He was with DC. He was. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't watch Minnesota play. Right. So I really didn't know who he was. But the minute he got here, it was, I love him.
He took over for Cowher, and he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, it's like straightforward. It doesn't cut, BS you. Tells it like it is, what he expects out of you. And, how do you know what you got until you give somebody a chance?
Period.
That's a fact.
And not on a shitty team. To go on, to your point about them paying him, I also believe that they threw in the guy Hugh Jackson for Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
said that he was getting paid to lose.
That's correct.
So how the hell?
I have a problem with Hugh. Hugh took the money.
I don't know. No. Cleveland's just that bad.
Oh, Cleveland was just all right, man.
Yeah, that's the mistake by the lake.
Yeah.
They actually had a 4-year plan on paper with the expected records for the first 2 years of losing and then the next 2 years of winning. So yeah, they planned it out there in Cleveland.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? That's, I don't know. Something's got to change, or, I don't know, as time evolves and owners change or it gets dropped down to a different family member.
Yeah.
That stuff will change in the future, but who wants to wait 50 years?
Yeah. I mean, if you got a lot of old heads, I mean, you would just have to wait for Jerry Jones to die, God forbid. You know what I'm saying? You have to wait for all the old GMs to either owners to sell, or if they pass it down to their relatives, which they normally do. They use it, right? Is that right, Kev? They usually pass them down pass it down. It's very hard. I mean, it's not like ownership comes open, every day.
The Maras have owned the Mara family and the Tisch family. It was a 2-family unit. owned the New York Giants
Yeah.
for the past 80 some years since they have been in existence in the NFL. So go see that.
Huh.
DA, what's your thoughts before DW? If you had anything else?
No, other than, I mean, it would be the same. And speaking, it's ironic that we got Dan on. Dan, if there was all black owners and the league was 80% white in hockey, there would be a problem. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Wait. We ain't got nobody qualified to they play the game. Now there's a few black players that play, but it's more white players that play hockey. I mean, I would just think the diversity. I don't know diversity. I would think that organization would want diversity throughout the ranks to make it everything flow together. I'm not saying that you just got to put somebody in there just because. What I am saying is that diversity works, and if you want to win, that it helps. That's what I see. Go ahead, D. You muted.
Oh, you're muted.
$5.
5.
Well,
There you go.
I wish I had $5, man. Uncle Sam coming to get me. Listen, the Flores thing is two-sided, of course. Because I kind of agree with the American thing. One, like I don't want to tell you who you can hire. That's
right.
That's un-American, man. Like you got the business, you got to where you're at. You should be able to hire whoever the hell you want to hire. Fine. The problem is that the NFL said that we got this Rooney Rule, right? So that if that never existed, then it wouldn't necessarily be a problem. Now it would be a problem because you could say, well, there's 70% black guys in the league, don't have a lot of black head coaches and or GMs. But the fact that you throw this Rooney Rule check the box thing out there is what makes everything kind of go haywire, because you'll always have something to point to that's not necessarily right. The point is real simple. If I had a business, you couldn't tell me who to hire.
No.
And the reality is, for the most part, we all believe that we would want to hire the best people. But also understand that as the bigger your organization and the more money that it's worth, that you're going to start making decisions based on some different parameters, and those parameters are not necessarily race, but they are necessarily trust. And I always say to people, the reason why in millionaire jobs and billionaires, why folks get fired, it's not for what they do. It's because they did it and got caught. So that's, because people, you want to trust that your CEO can get in and out of a sticky situation, without being caught with their hand in the cookie jar. He's your CEO. That's what we hired. You want to trust that your CEO is not going to send a stupid ass email to his boy. Like, those are things that you have to trust will happen. And folks that can't do that usually get fired. Coaches, CEOs, presidents of companies. Those are the folks that the board of directors get rid of because they have a lack of judgment. Now, with that said, is the lack of judgment in this case, and this is, I think, what's being alleged by Flores, is that he made a conscious decision to tell his boss to kiss his ass. I am not throwing games. Now, did his boss make some phone calls to say, don't hire this dude? He told me to kiss his ass. We could have had this guy and this guy and that guy had we lost all those games those years. And they don't necessarily care about the players that are currently on your team. All of the things that individuals put in to make that team and to be on that team, from support staff, seller frankfurters, to players on the team, right? Because losing impacts everybody.
Everything. Absolutely.
Right? So people aren't in the stadiums no more. There's no Frank Man doesn't get as much money because he don't get any tips now because no one's at the game because you're losing. right? The bettors, Las Vegas has a problem. New York has a problem. All the bookies got a problem because now you're not covering when you should. You know, you're a better team. You gotta. These things happen because they say, okay, this team has a better roster, better quarterback. They should win by this much. Then if you don't consistently, you're breaking somebody. You know, somebody is being broken financially. You know, so it goes back to owners kind of being billionaire dicks because they don't care about the little guy. They want to do things and they have an idea in their head. If we lose, then we can get player A or player B or player C or whatever it is. And as I always say, if the team doesn't have the infrastructure to develop player A, B, C, or D, it really don't matter. Tom Brady is only Tom Brady because he was developed by the Patriots. And the way they developed him with the Patriots is why he is where he is. Of course, he has his own talent. Of course, he's a great player. But the reality is Tom Brady wouldn't be Tom Brady if he wasn't developed in a specific way. Right? So the point is you saying, well, we need to tank so we can get this draft pick. It really doesn't matter. I saw Jeff George when I was a kid was the best quarterback prospect of anybody. I think he could throw the ball 80, 90 yards from his knees. Big, tall guy. He was a dick. He couldn't get it right. So you can't, you don't know who it's going to be. You know, your job as a team is to put infrastructure in place that develops players, that make sure you develop a atmosphere and what is it called? I'll say atmosphere, an ecosystem that helps kids learn how to be better players, better men, and all the rest of those things as a football team. If you're not doing that, then you're not going to win. You're just not. You're not going to win. So now we go back to the thing I say all the time. Owners are not there to win. They are there to make a profit. If you want to change that, you got to change the rules.
And listen, DA's been saying this, been beating the drum on this for a couple years on this show. And, you know, I used to be the naive to think that, hey, owners want to go out there and they want to win and stuff. Nah, the bottom line is the bottom line.
Yeah.
They want to win. And if you don't, what's they say? You don't vote with your dollars.
Yeah, they'll keep doing what they do.
And they'll keep, and Dan can be attest to that. You know, he always complains about his beloved Pittsburgh Pirates, who, you know, they continue to keep doing what they're doing. So
people keep coming to games.
Well, yeah, right. They keep coming to games, right?
I just want to go into one quick thing, Kev. And
go ahead,
I think Florio, he said something I think a day ago, man, and man, it blew my mind.
Yes, get to that point. That's a good point. Yeah.
But the way you can change this is with the draft, man. We have to get rid of the draft. It has to be a situation where college kids can choose the team they want to go to. You keep the salary cap in effect. You know, you keep the rosters in effect. And guess what happens? It makes the folks that are currently at those teams have to think and work about who they want and who they don't want. Because if there's three great wide receivers, you can't get all three because somebody else is going to pay one of them. So you have to fight to get the guys you want, which means that almost like college, kids will want to go play for a team that's a winner. And if you're not a winner, you're doing everything you can to become a winner, right? And that includes having the best coaches, the best team, whether they're black, white, or green. If you got a Martian and he's a great coach, I'm going to get him, so my team is winning, so the kids coming out of college want to play with me. That's what you want. And you won't get it any other way. as long as you're drafting kids to come play with you under that draconian 5-year rule, you're never going to get, you that does not, it's actually an oxymoron. It doesn't make you better. They say they do that to get parity in the league, but it doesn't help the league at all. Giving good players to bad teams because they're bad teams because they have no infrastructure. Yeah, they don't have the tools in place to develop the kids. Trevor Lawrence came out. Best quarterback prospect since Peyton Manning. He goes to Urban Meyer, sorry. Urban really doesn't want to be there. He's pissing down his leg. He's not making nothing happen on the sidelines. And this kid is probably about where he was when the season started.
And this is what happens. This is one of the things that I mean, this thing is so toxic all the way around. It's really ridiculous. But I agree with you that they're going to have to do something radical in order to as far as to stop the tanking and stuff like that. See, this is in football, yeah, I think just this whole thing of rewarding bad teams because I think we need to figure another option out.
Dan,
shake it up.
Dan, go ahead and ask that question.
So I was just listening to all this and what they describing that would be something that would fix this. And as you were talking about it, the first thing that popped in my head, I said, oh, so we're going to have Alabama. We're going to have Georgia. We're going to have 4 good teams and everybody else is going to suck. Now, hold on. Because not only people want to go to the winner, but then you're also going to have the issue. We're already talking about them giving coaches money to lose games.
Yeah.
What are they going to do when it comes time for these players to sign? Hey, got you a house here. Got you a new Bentley.
Hey,
you want to play with us?
Nah, Dan. This is what I suggest. I suggest you put all the teams in a hat, shake it up, and let the commissioner pick the teams out the hat, and that's where you go. That's where the number ones. That's what you pick, just like that.
But see, I don't like that because if you pull a name out the hat, you got a quarterback. You don't need another quarterback. I don't need another quarterback.
Trade the pick.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
I don't want him.
No. You still get to pick what you want.
What order you pick.
But it's just the order. The order is mixed up. You're not going to get just because you finish last, you going to get number 1 pick. No. I'm talking about throw their names in the hat. And the teams that come up, they come up. And that's how you pick. Whatever your need is.
You guys were able, y'all kept praising the process in Philadelphia. Where were you then?
I'm the same guy. I'm the same guy that didn't like that process neither. Trust the process.
I believe
every day, every year? Nah, I'm not with that.
Yeah, I think I hear what you're saying, D, but I still like the players being able to choose because even in that example, right, of hats, naming the hat for the teams, there are some teams that legitimately are trying to be good, but they're just not yet. Like they're trying to get better, and they're just I don't want anyone to be by the overall NFL system. I don't want anyone to be kind of what's the word? Hurt by the fact that they're not good.
D, you got 3 years, D. The player got 3 years.
Yeah.
And they can switch.
Yes, but that's what I say. If the guy's coming out and he's saying, look, man, I want to go play with the Steelers. I've been wanting to play with the Steelers my whole life, right?
Well, you
win. So he says he can go to them and say, I want to be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tomlin can say, I don't need no wide receivers, and I'm sorry, son. We're good. So it's up to that player to also know, listen, I got my chance, shot 2, shot 3, place 2, place 3, place 4. Then I may want to go. I remember reading a few years back in the draft, and guys said, and this is for the NFL explicitly, after you get past the third round, you really don't want anybody to draft you. You want to be undrafted, and you want to be an undrafted free agent so that you and your agent can target the teams that need you. You know, the first 2 or 3 rounds, yeah, okay, that works. But most players, if they're not that high up, based on what I read, was that these guys would rather be unsigned free agents because you could say, I'm a wide receiver and the Niners don't have any wide receivers. So if I go to their camp, I give myself a far better chance of making the team than being drafted by, you know, a team that already has 6 wide receivers and they're just drafting me because I'm there and they don't want the other teams in my division, you know, or this other team to have me.
Okay, but I don't want to. If they give him $60, I don't want to hear him talk about the money. If that's not the team you want to go to, and you want to get undrafted, so then we start talking about why you're not getting the money.
Well, no, those guys never complain because, like I said, they're undrafted free agents.
Okay,
those are the guys that we hear about that are the success stories. Harrison in Pittsburgh, undrafted free agent. No, it wasn't drafted. Like, these are dudes that just, look, I want to go here because they need a defensive end. And it's smarter for me to go here coming out of directional Townsend, Ohio, whatever school, for me to go to Pittsburgh and they don't have any DNs and I can make the team that way there because they don't have any DNs. Rather than say, I'm going to go to Cleveland where they already have Clowney and Garrett. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. I think.
Dan, you got a point. I'm sorry, Kev. Dan, did you have that last point, or I thought Dan had?
I was just gonna say, with the draft issue, instead of worst team gets first pick, they need to weight it. So they don't get the first pick, but they get one of the top 5 picks. So they can't fall any farther than 5th.
Right.
And put their name, like, you know, I think the NHL does this where they get a percentage of their name in the hat. So they got a better chance than the other teams, but they can't always get it. That would keep it would keep teams, I think, from, I mean, they're still kind of trying to get the better percentage, but if you can't you're not guaranteed the first guy pick every year.
I'm cool with that too.
That's definitely a good way to maybe go ahead.
No, because I'm just saying you just gotta protect the integrity, period.
Exactly.
Of the game.
Absolutely.
I don't care whatever else is going on, but once we start getting to the point where you are doing such a thing just to get said player, it's not helping nobody. It's not helping the guys on the field that's trying to win. It's not helping you at the current, you know what I'm saying? The fans is not into it. So my thing is that it's just, you have to protect that part of it.
They're just not going to do any of it though. So just know, guys. Yeah. All we talk about, they're not doing any of this shit. It'll be the same way.
Okay. Let me wrap up a couple of bullet points. So unfortunately, yes, this is going on. Do I think Coach Flores does he have a case? I think he absolutely does. We know and believe that, you know, people hire who they want to hire. Nepotism is huge in the NFL, as Dan stated before. Hey, this one begets that one, kind of like the Bible, right? You read the Bible and they say, hey, this one begets that one begets that one, and like, geez, all the Shanahan's.
I didn't know that Schottenheimer had that many damn kids. There's so many Schottenheimer coaches. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, so like nobody else gets a shot, and I can tell you, me personally, all in life, man, all you want is to have a fair and equitable shot. And some people say it's fair as what you pay to get on the New York City Transit subway or whatever.
FARE, not FAIR.
But to hear me out, you just want a fair shot. And I just think, you know, Coach Flores, to have something be a sham already, and another bullet point, Bill Belichick, dog, you got to know how to text, dog. You're up here sending the wrong messages.
Hey, somebody sent the meme today. It said Bill Belichick had to update his phone.
Oh,
It
yeah.
had Black Brian and White Brian.
I saw that.
I thought that was hilarious.
I think Bill dry snitched on purpose to look out for his man. For real. I think he dry snitched on him. And he put it out there so it came out.
I kind of agree with you. I can't see him making that type of mistake, man. I mean, not to say it can't happen.
Six-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, this guy's too detailed unless he's just getting old.
And he walks away with, oh man, it was just a mistake.
Yep. He don't say nothing else.
Not so long.
And nobody's got him on, or nobody has got him for an interview or nothing.
Nope.
No, he's not. He's not going to.
He has said nothing.
Just for the sake of it.
So
that's another bullet. So he made that mistake. Also, the thing with the Dolphins and offering money and for him to lose, and now we're finding out Hugh Jackson and all this.
NFL, but everybody knows that happened. Everybody knew that happened.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, everybody knows.
That's something that needs to be addressed, and unfortunately, we'll see where it goes from there. But we talked about this. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about this next week because there's a lot to unpack. We have a 90-minute show, so with that said, we'll address that next week. We'll move on to what's going on the field. So we'll start with the NFC Championship game. The San Francisco 49ers, D's team, visited SoFi Stadium for the second time this year. This is their third time they're playing, and third time wasn't a charm. The LA Rams defeated the San Francisco Giants 20-17.
Not Giants, 49ers.
49ers.
What'd I say?
The Giants.
Oh, yeah. San Francisco 49ers.
Good.
Sorry.
Good job wishing.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, the New York Giants have their own problems right now. The San Francisco 49ers 2017. I think these men didn't play bad, but man, he definitely didn't.
Listen, man.
Go ahead, D.
I try to explain this to people, man. And people just look at the numbers, and you have to recognize as a football guy, football fan, whatever, that some people are just not going to understand what you're saying. And it's not a male-female thing, because there's probably more males than females that don't understand this. They say, oh, he played good. Yeah, he played good. The reason we did not win the game is because Shanahan does not trust that man with the full playbook. There are throws and plays he could have called that he didn't call because that guy was the quarterback.
He missed a big play over the middle with Kittles too in the third quarter. That was huge.
There are times, and he's not a real accurate guy either. He can be accurate at times, but and it's only on certain plays. It's over the middle, seam routes, breaking in. It's very rare that you see him catch anything outside the hash. Very, very rare. But with that being said, he is an NFL quarterback. He can play the game. He's probably better at that than I was at anything that I've done. And I said it for all professional athletes. I give you guys a lot of love and props. But what I'm saying to you is, I know from watching that man over the last X amount of years that Shanahan does not trust him with certain throws and certain plays because he never, ever has them in. You'll see now, just say, let's just throw it again, like you say in the hat. Just say Aaron Rodgers comes to San Francisco. Boy, oh boy, you wouldn't believe how good Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuels can catch the ball, and Kittles will be like Kelsey, because Shanahan will open the playbook and we'll be throwing the ball all over the yard. The reality is that he didn't trust Jimmy to do certain things, so we couldn't do certain things. And once we got behind, we knew it was a wrap. So that's it. It was a great season. I'm kind of glad it ended the way it did, so we wouldn't have a problem getting rid of Mr. Garoppolo for a trade. And maybe we'll get like a third rounder, a pack of Newports, and some chicken. for him. And then, we can start to, get another running back or some defense or something. Maybe we'll let him go to the Giants and we'll take Saquon and you take Jimmy G.
No, thank you. But
sure, he's better than what you got now. Don't, he's better than what you got.
Listen,
he's just going to cost you a lot.
So Jimmy Garoppolo was 16 of 30, 23.2 yards, 2 TDs. Yeah, 1 bad interception at the end where I honestly believe the DA on this one, that whole sequence of that last when they had the ball.
Last series was
the last series. He just still wouldn't open up the playbook at that thing. He got sacked a couple of times, and then it was 3rd and long, and they bought the house, and that was it. He threw that ridiculous, looks like very Carson Wentz's pass, and lo and behold, it was a touchdown. And I said this before. Jimmy Garoppolo is like that baby that be playing in the stairs, right? Parents, all those that got kids. The baby, you be like, you got the gate. There's no gate up. Somebody forgot to put the gate there, and you see the baby. Hey, wait, get away from there. That's kind of what the Shanahan, does with Garoppolo. No, I just need you to throw the ball 20 to 25 times. This time they did 30, and they had the lead, unfortunately, and they lost. This was a very wonderful game. Let me just turn to the fact that, hey, Matthew Stafford was 31 for 45. He had 337 yards. He had also two TDs, 1 interception with a quarterback rating of 96.3. Dan, what's your thoughts on this game right here?
I thought it was a good game, very entertaining. But I do agree. I don't think that Shanahan will let Jimmy G throw anything outside the hashes. That's the only place that I think they feel comfortable with him throwing the football where he's accurate or whatever reason. What was that? Trying to think of the guy's name. I think one play in particular that might have changed the outcome of that game was when was it Clifford Franklin back there on D for the Niners dropped that pass?
That happened with Scally. All I have to say is that, dude, the reason you're a DB and not a wide receiver is because you don't have hands. But golly.
That's why I referenced him to Clifford Franklin from the Washington Sentinels. The replacements.
The Washington Sentinels.
They got to get that Jack Tatum stick 'em. So that way, catch it.
Oh man, it's from the Replacements movie. Wow.
But I think that could have changed. Maybe not the outcome of the game. But even if they get the ball at midfield or on their 45, and it was maybe somewhere around 6 minutes, maybe a little less.
Game's over.
Well, even if they run 3 plays, they run in like at least a minute and a half, 2 minutes off the clock.
Right.
So, and then they punt it, and they got to go further to try to get that field goal. But it was a good game. I'm kind of happy for Stafford. Like out of the 4 teams that were left, I'm glad Cincinnati made it, even though they're in my division, and I'm glad the Rams made it because now we got new teams.
Yes,
it'll be different. It's not the same teams every year.
Same teams.
Yeah, it'll actually. I don't care who wins. I really don't.
I don't.
But I think this is going to be a really entertaining Super Bowl, but by what teams we did get.
I agree.
Go ahead, D-Dub.
For San Francisco to be winning this game, the stat line, they rushed the ball for 50 yards total.
So you got to win ugly.
Huh?
Winning ugly, that's what we do.
Winning ugly, that's correct. And y'all was on your way, but y'all couldn't stop the other team.
Couldn't seal the deal.
And the time of possession, 35 minutes for the Rams to 24 minutes. Y'all only had the ball for 24 minutes, 21 seconds. So 6 penalties. The Rams only had 2 penalties the whole game. All that stuff counts. All that stuff is important. A lot of people don't think they just look, you look at the players, but all that stuff is important. And the Niners tried, entertaining game. Rams came back down the stretch, down the second half of the game, put up 13 points in the fourth quarter. And that's pretty much, that was it. That was the, end of the game there. So, the Rams is deserving. You know, they're gonna go into the Super Bowl. You know, they did what they were supposed to do. So, you know, shout outs to them. And again, another team. See, this is this stuff here. Another team hosting the Super Bowl at home for what's this, the second year in a row? Tampa Bay last year, and
Yep.
Second year in a row. Cincinnati will be designated the home.
that has never happened in my childhood. I mean, I have never seen. I don't recall other than San Francisco. The 49ers and
when they play in Palo Alto.
Yeah,
that was back. What Super Bowl was that? Dorian, that
95.
was
95.
I saw Steve Young. So I mean, it's kind of crazy that we have back-to-back years that the home team is playing their Super Bowl. So you know, I guess they'll think that this should be I don't know what I haven't checked the line yet.
The line is 4 now. The line is still 4.
Okay, so they're still giving Cincinnati a shot.
Yeah, I think they do. It was a very entertaining game, the NFC game. I was joking with DA the whole game. I said, DA, you got that? You up there calling plays, huh? And then at the end, I don't know what happened. They booted you out the booth.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom. I'm getting old. I can't hold my water, man. So
somebody took the playbook from you and started calling them plays, and it was game over, man. So congratulations to the LA Rams. San Francisco got some retooling to do, and it'll be safe to say that Jimmy Garoppolo will not be there next year, and he'll catch on to somebody else. But with that,
sure
yeah, he'll definitely catch on to somebody else, somebody that can really work within what his strengths.
And Jimmy, Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy's got to be in a correct system. I mean, you put him in the correct system, he'll be all right.
Real quick, Dan, would y'all take him?
I would rather not. It's all I'm saying. We have him. We got Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
You know what I'm saying? He's just a little bit better than Mason Rudolph. And he's gonna cost. Wait, they paid too much to get him. From New England.
They're
gonna want a lot back.
Somebody's gonna have to tell Jimmy no.
But that's the problem, though.
Jimmy, no.
Jimmy, no.
That's
the problem, though, man. Because
Jimmy, you're not getting that money. I'm sorry, sir.
Those are the things that you have to worry about. So and we can go on from here, but just think about it rhetorically. Jimmy got paid too much. What do you like? These guys are not trying to come back down to freaking minimum wage now.
I got it.
Him, Wentz, right, and Goff got a lot of money.
You gotta give that money back.
No, not doing it.
Hey, I'd rather have Kirk Cousins.
Yes, I would too. I would take Kirk D. Cousins. Because
he can at least he takes care of the ball and he can throw it.
That's what I said. See, a lot of people shit on Kirk, but
I like Kirk, man.
Kirk could play, man. I mean, he's not. He could ride the ship out, as far as I'm concerned.
Reality was, I thought he might have been. This is just a college thing. I know it's going to sound stupid because of what happened, but Roger Griffith III, RG3 was nice. I thought he could play, but I thought Kirk Cousins was better coming out of Michigan State because of the system he played in and the competition he played against in college, as opposed to RG3 playing in a league where they don't play any defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're in the Big 12. They don't play any defense there. In the Big 10 at the time, Michigan State, you're playing Michigan, you're playing Minnesota, you're playing teams that Penn State that play defense. And that's why I always thought that Kirk Cousins was better coming out of Michigan State. But it was ingenious for Shanahan to draft 2 quarterbacks. That I can tell you. So the old man knows what he's doing.
Maybe the Giants will draft a quarterback this year. But go ahead, man.
Oh God, let me go to the other game. Yeah. In the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, the AFC North. Cincinnati Bengals defeated the AFC champs from last year, the Kansas City Chiefs, 27-24. The Bengals coming back from, I believe it was 18 points, it says here. And they wound up winning. Yeah, they wound up winning the game in overtime. I know we got a lot to get into with this. D-Dub, he had a lot. D-Dub, what's your
Yo, you know what I feel about this guy, man. This what's his name? Mahomes. Yo, man, this guy is too cute, man. This guy is he's cute with the ball. And I said this earlier in the year. I said this stuff is going to catch up to him. Being so cute, and you thinking that you're the only one that can make these type of throws and plays, and that the rest of the league won't catch up to you. And guess what happens? You out there instead of your kicker kicking a short field goal. And I think he made it, but you got him kicking a 44-yard field goal to go into overtime. That's one. But this goes way back until the play before. What's the play before the half?
No, yeah, that to me, that was the game. That was the game.
I mean, that might just be on Andy Reid because he's the coach. But I mean, I'm not really Mahomes is a great player. Don't get it wrong, he's a good player, but I just don't care for all the the little antics and acting like everybody else is not professional players, man. That kind of ticks me off. But that might be my old man stuff, so I don't know.
Oh, you didn't say anything about the professor or all those other guys from the street tape mix when they came to the NBA.
Well, they didn't come to the NBA.
Exactly. There's a reason why. Because all that street stuff doesn't translate. Some of the skills translate, but listen, when you get on the court, the field, nobody that street stuff, leave the street stuff. Look at boxing. You try to bring that street stuff will get you knocked out. Period.
Yep, pretty much so.
But that's all I got for you, man. Kudos to Cincinnati. I was happy that
kudos to Cincinnati. Yes.
Joe Burrow is the real deal. He's a real deal. I mean, good quarterback. The AFC is set up really, really, really good as far as quarterbacks is concerned. You got a lot. It's a great deal of good quarterbacks.
Yes.
Except for in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh has to retool. That's a shout out there.
We'll see.
Thanks.
Shout out there. But but Pittsburgh got Mason Rudolph, and they'll be fine, man. So hey.
I think dude's gonna beat him out this summer though.
Who, Haskins?
Yeah.
Well, to be continued. We'll see.
To be continued. DA, what's your thoughts on this game and Patrick Mahomes and the Cincinnati Bengals?
Hey, they lost. It wasn't. I can't go too hard at them. They lost the game to a better team, man. But it does speak volumes to their team's makeup. So the week before, the Titans had 9 sacks. Last week there was 1. So you can play that dude you got sitting in the middle of your defense, Chris, whatever his name is, no disrespect, but dude's not, I can't remember his last name, so it's out of respect, but dude, you're not that guy, man. Something's wrong if you only got 1 sack as a team. And the team last week had 9.
Well, you kept saying all year long. I remember when I said to you, yo, Kansas City's defense is back. He was like, back from where, Kev?
Yeah, I played defense. They got a lot of holes, and they're going to lose Tyrann Mathieu, which is probably not bad because he's old and he's not what he was. But the reality is that I think they'll be back. I don't know if they'll be back. Because you know what I believe in a few years as this Mahomes money starts to impact the team a little bit more.
That's right.
You're going to have far less in the regard of skilled players. So I tell people, don't worry about Kelsey leaving or what's the little fast guy? Hill, right?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Maybe they'll lose Pringle. Nicole Hardman will be there. And they'll probably get another running back in there. But the reality is that those guys are getting older. I think they're getting close to their 30s. So they're not really going anywhere. They'll hang out there and get whatever money they're going to get until it's over. But it's going to be hard to attract new talent the way the system is set up today, because they're never going to be low enough to where they get a really good draft pick, right? They'll get a guy 26, 27, 28 in the draft, which is not necessarily bad, but they're never going to get like the guy because they're always going to be a pretty good team. So going back to Dan's idea, yeah, they may take it as like, listen, maybe they're not the worst team, but they get put in the hat to where, they still have a chance to get a guy at 6 or 7 or, or 8, which for a team like Kansas City is like striking gold, because they're never going to get that guy unless they make a trade.
Right.
They're out of it for the next 10 years. They're never going to get like the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th pick ever, because they're never going to be that bad unless a Brady happens and Mahomes gets hurt for 1 year. Like, that's what they did with when New England and Castle came in, but they still won 11 games.
Let me put this question out to you, DA. And D-Dub might want to chime in. Pat Mahomes, he's one play away from like not winning not one Super Bowl.
But
Back.
but he did win them. He did win one, so can't take it away. And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but you can't take it away. However he won it, and it's not necessarily winning it; it's getting to that point is also hard. You got to give him credit for at least to get into the Super Bowl. But again, as stated, I think he's going to probably tone it down a little bit.
And
little humble pie.
It's going to be even harder because, first of all these good quarterbacks coming out here, and when you holding such a mega bag that he's holding, it's hard to sign these players.
Yeah, like I said, I think he'll be okay. They may not be as good as they ever were, but
right.
I didn't think they were a dynasty in the first place. So like, it's kind of weird for me to say because I didn't see the dynasty thing. So I've seen teams that were dynasties, and guess what? All those teams had a damn good defense.
And running game.
Pittsburgh, 70s. Niners, 80s. Dallas, 90s. New England, 2000s.
Giants.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wow.
I think they had a good defense when they beat the.
Can't see you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm just saying, those things have to happen, man. And the reality is that most teams don't have those things. So.
Gotcha. Dan, what's your thoughts on this Kansas City game and Cincinnati?
All right, I'm just going to be upfront with this. This is time in the show where we're going to make up some time. I did not watch the game. I just saw a few highlights of the game. The only question I had was I saw the Mixon run. It was probably, I don't know, a good 20-yard run. He ran into his own guy, falls down to the ground, leaves the ball on the ground, and like does his thing like, hey, woo, first down, blah, blah, blah. But if he would have got up, he could have kept running and scored. Second of all, Kansas City picked up the ball. Why is that not a fumble?
It was.
Yeah.
But
Uh-oh.
that I mean, I'm glad Cincinnati won. I'm glad Mahomes and the
No wonder
TikTok.
you cut that shit off. Go ahead.
that TikTok bullshit. His wife and brother or whatever. I'm glad they're sitting at home watching this game because I can't deal with that crap. But that was my question. Is I saw that and I'm like, okay, that's a fumble. They picked it up. Oh, they still got the ball. Okay.
Yeah,
it's selective rules. Selective ruling.
Exactly. This year is going to be this off season is going to be very interesting because we've had a bunch of bad calls this year, blatantly bad calls, And the NFL is going to have to figure that out as well. You know, like give these guys a full-time job. This is all they do.
The refs don't work full-time, as you just stated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they got to get full-time jobs, full-time pay.
But what happened to wait?
They're full-time professionals.
No, not only that, but we got a whole. You have a mega, studio in New York with all these cameras.
Yeah.
And why is Dan telling me this at 9:00 on a Thursday night, and I haven't heard this at all from nobody? And now I have to go back and rewatch it because I missed it too. I didn't even see that play. So
I saw it
too. Yeah.
So
that's right.
NFL, not only do we have a problem, we have you guys got a studio with cameras and TVs and everything. Y'all should have picked that up. There's no way in the world.
8K, 4K.
Yeah.
The other question is, who's the video review guy for the Chiefs?
Exactly. Who's not
Because
hitting
that's
that
a
button?
bang, 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 hit the button. Yo,
Who's not?
that's a fumble.
He's no longer working with the Chiefs right now. He's
Bag of groceries at
yes,
Piggly Wiggly.
Man, he got a head coach job. What are you talking about? He got.
He's a head coach candidate.
He's a head coach.
Man, y'all are some funny guys, man.
He could have threw that red flag from up in the booth.
Yeah.
We'll get into the Super Bowl matchups next week on the show. I'm pretty sure the guys are dying to get into who's going to win the Pro Bowl. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was about to say. Let me go ahead, cut this off.
Yeah, hold on.
I am just really joking. Oh, damn. Dan did it, Eric.
It did blackout. It blackout. Yeah.
No, we'll get into surmising on what's going to go on with the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a very good Super Bowl. Entertaining, and that's all you want. You just want a good Super Bowl. Super Bowl, so you don't want no blowouts. You just want a very good
entertainment
game. Entertainment game, man.
Especially when that's your team. You know, whoever's team, your respective team is if they're not in it. So
shout out to Super Bowl Sunday, which is like I call it National Casual Fan Day because the casuals come out. You know, appreciate y'all casuals, and hopefully you'll be diehards. You know,
spend that money.
Yeah, spend that money. With that said, we're going to segue to. I don't have no music for Dan. We're working on that as we speak. Dan, we've got introduction coming for you real soon. Dan is going to go in with hockey. Dan, take it away, brother.
Well, hey, Dan, don't worry. I'm gonna get you some Manfred Man, and we're gonna do that Blinded by the Light. You know. So
Appreciate that.
That's one of my favorite songs, dude. I listen to shit every day. So it's right here.
Appreciate that. I guess we'll start like at this time in the season. Give you the top 5 power ranking, I guess, and then some honorable mentions.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of weird because not everybody's played the same amount of games because of this COVID thing.
Right.
But like Florida, that would probably be my number 1 team. Colorado would probably be my 2nd team. They're playing really well. I don't know how long McKinnon's out after he ate his stick in the face the other night and left the game. Yeah, he got crushed by Taylor Hall. Say the Canes are next. Now, the interesting thing with the Canes is they've only played 42 games. Kevin's Rangers have played 47, and they got the same record.
Wow.
So chances are that they're going to win 3 of the 5 that they got on hand with them. So the Rangers are going to be a little bit behind. I would say Tampa's probably next, which isn't just crazy. We're talking about 2 Florida teams in the top 5 of the power rankings. Back-to-back Super Stanley Cup champion in the last 2 years, Tampa Bay. And then I would probably say there's kind of a toss-up here. Like, I think the Rangers, the Penguins, and probably the Leafs have been playing. We've gone in a little bit of a skid here, going to overtime the last 4 games, I think. But like those are probably, the honorable mentions for the 5th spot. What I do find interesting is we were talking about the Islanders previously, at the beginning of the season. They have, I think, 8 games in hand. So if the top 8 in the Eastern Conference for the playoff didn't play a game for the next 16 games, and the Islanders did and won every single game, they still would not be in the playoffs.
Yikes.
If they got a 16-point buff, they would still not be in the playoffs. They'd be 1 point behind, which is crazy. But like some of the disappointments, I think, that of teams that were supposed to be really good, like I still think the Oilers, they got Evander Kane, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. But
Evander Kane,
they still are struggling in the net. They got to do better in the net. And then I would say probably the Islanders, they should be a lot better than they are. Montreal's just woeful. They got 23 points. They've only won 8 games. They're minus 73 in goals for and against. It's been, granted, Carey Price hasn't played all year, and they're looking to possibly get him back.
Hey, Dan, real quick, can you tell me what has happened to the Islanders that they, with this? Is it injuries? Or just a combination of a little bit of everything that they skidded all the way down?
Well, I think they struggled at the beginning of the year and kind of put themselves behind the 8 ball, but also to me, it seems like the defensive part of the game, like they got some guys that aren't really fleet of foot. You got Chara, he's still serviceable, but like it's
right.
I would, if you want to keep Chara in your lineup, he needs to be like Hal Gill used to be for the Penguins. Play maybe 6 minutes a game, but he was on every penalty kill. That's what they got to use people a little bit smarter. And, some of these other teams are kind of in the same boat where they just, I'm trying to think who was like Chicago. You got Taves, you got Kane, and they got Fleury in that, and they're still just struggling. So like we got a week off between today and next one, or about a week. Next Wednesday, I think they start back up because they got the All-Star thing going this weekend.
All-Star break, right?
Yeah. So, it's going to be a busy schedule the rest of February because I think since they're not going to the Olympics, a lot of these games are going to get rescheduled within that time frame. So they're going to be playing a lot of back or every other nights probably for the rest of the month.
Wait a minute. I got a question. They actually play back to back?
Some nights they do.
Yeah.
No, I'm being funny. Of course I know that.
Yeah.
I'm saying because the NBA guys, they think they have a problem with back to backs. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So tired.
Don't even get me started on that.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so probably beginning of March, maybe like 10 days into March, we'll have a better idea of who's real and who the pretenders are. And then you're going to start seeing like some of these teams like the Islanders that got some guys that are restricted free or unrestricted free agents on expiring contracts. Those guys are going to start getting moved. And that's probably when we're going to see some of these other teams like the Edmontons that need help in certain areas, goaltending, that are going to try to make these deals to get fill the void of, and get themselves ready for the playoff run. Because I think you'll see there'll be more moves prior to the deadline this year than probably in previous years. Like probably the trade deadline day is probably going to be a dud because all the teams are going to be pretty much done doing what they need to do. There'll be a couple, but I don't think there'll be blockbusters.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good to know. What you think about the All-Star game this weekend?
Oh, see, I might be taking over for Eric today. Because
Angry Dan.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is just getting on my nerves. So
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So I noticed that they said that they were gonna put the names out of who's doing this. Like, so I think Friday at 7:30. I want to say it's on ESPN. They're doing skills challenge.
Okay.
And, if you've ever watched the skills challenge, is your run of the mill, fastest skater, hardest shot, accurate shooter, breakaways on the goaltenders. I'm trying to think what else they used to do. But there's like 5 events that they do. So they're in Vegas this year, and apparently they're closing down a large portion of the strip for some new events.
Play hockey, though.
This is, Oceans 11 or 8, 10, 12, whatever they are, when they're standing out in front of the Bellagio and the fountains are going off.
Yes, sir.
They've got stands or things out in the middle of the water where it's called the NHL Fountain Face-Off, where they stand on the middle floaty thing, and I guess they're shooting into nets that are on floaty things in the water while the fountains go off. I don't know. That just seems kind of a gimmick, but
no, yeah, that is a gimmick.
Used car.
Yeah.
Used car.
So they got like 8 different people in this, but the one thing I think is cool is the last few years the NHL has been trying to include the women's game into the All-Star weekend.
Okay.
I think it was last year. What's her name? The little coin. I can't for I think she's doing actual broadcast for the NHL. But the little USA girl who's married to one of the linemen in the NFL, she did the fastest skater last year. Well, they got Jocelyn Lamoureux Davidson this year. She's going to do the fountain face-off thing, and with a couple other. I think they got like 8 or 9 guys.
Right.
And then the other gimmick game they got going on this year.
This really sounds like some gimmick. Yeah, I mean, this is
awful. This gets better. So they got NHL 21 and 22. So what this is this, I guess, is going to be out in the middle of the strip on the street. But they got a big thing set up, and I guess the cards are turned so that you can only see like the top of the card. You can't see what the thing is, but they're shooting at these targets with pucks to try to get 21. Or they're close to 21 as they can. So that ought to be lovely. And then of course they got the regular stuff, the hardest shot, which I don't know that anybody will break 100. The breakaway challenge, the save streak. And what was the other one? Oh, the breakaway challenge. This will be a little bit different this year too, because usually what they do with the breakaway challenge is the players come down on the regular goalies. So this year they got Wyatt Russell and Manem Ramon. I think she played. It's a female goalie. I think she played in the Tampa Bay farm system professionally for one game.
Really?
I think she was a Team Canada goalie, maybe. I think that's what she was on Team Canada.
Wow.
But those 2 will be the goalies, and then they'll have like 5 guys going in on breakaways. The one I'm really interested to see is that Trevor Zegras from Anaheim that had the lacrosse goal.
Yeah.
And then had the other one, he flipped it over the net to his teammate.
Right.
Yeah. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And then
you are absolutely right. This is something that sound like the Pro Bowl or the NBA skills challenge and all this other.
They did it in St. Louis, which I want to say was last year, where they had them. So like in the arena, you got like your mid-level bowl. They had a little platform set up where they were shot off over the crowd, and they had the netting down, and they were shooting in the nets that were on the ice. So that's, and then I think Sunday's the actual game, which is at the 3-on-3 format. And then it's hard to tell who's on these teams because everybody keeps dropping like flies, then getting replaced by somebody.
How do they do? So let me ask you this: if I remember correctly, do they still do the Eastern and Western Conference, or how is that?
It's per division. So you got the East, and you got the the Atlantic and the Metropolitan, and then you got the Pacific and
the Midwest.
They broke them up into that.
Okay.
But this kind of cracked me up because I was going down through this to see who's doing what. And I don't know if they changed it. I want to see if I can find them. Yeah, so they have it listed for the accuracy shooting. They have Jake Getzel, comma, Steelers.
Steelers.
I mean, does that look like a Steeler?
No, it's a damn penguin.
Yeah, it looks like a penguin to me, but
And then they have like,
he's stealing the puck. That's what it is.
and then they did that, and this guy did this. Whoever wrote this did the same thing for Tristan Jarry, comma, Steelers.
Ooh.
That's
Oh,
like calling that's like Carolina being the Panthers. I mean,
Yeah,
come on, man. That's what I said.
Somebody trying to be funny, Dan.
You know,
He probably doesn't have a job now, but yeah.
no, I saw the name on here and that wrote the article, and I was like, ugh. I know, I've seen stuff from him before, but it's like, come on, dude, man. Nobody in there can, read, go or edit your, article before you hit submit.
Hey, use Grammarly, man. I do.
I do too.
Shout out to Grammarly.
Yes, sir.
We need them to be a sponsor.
Yeah, Grammarly. Yeah, be a sponsor.
Grammarly,
I
please.
absolutely use Grammarly every day at work. So,
Yeah, but I think the game's actually Sunday.
game is
that.
Sunday. Okay.
I think.
Sunday.
So it should be very interesting. The NHL, I think on my list of all-star games, I think we had this conversation a couple weeks ago. I would say the NHL is second behind
MLB.
MLB, and then the others I don't watch. I just can't watch. The NBA has become a hard watch in recent years. I just can't do it.
100%.
Yeah. So
It's on Saturday the 5th at 3.
Okay.
I'll be back from the gun show by then. Gun
In
show. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but they'll be in Vegas for that.
Gotcha. Well, Dan, thank you. You had any more for hockey? I'm sorry. Before I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have, no, we had a Kane. Sorry, we had to talk about that real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
his little roller coaster of a season.
So give us a little background about Evander Kane.
Well, before the season started, I think obviously these are all allegations, and I believe that from what I read, none of this was proven. So they were, stuff was driven. He stays. It's like he's an issue, but as him and his wife were having issues, he got domestic. She said he was gambling on his games.
Oh, boy.
So he didn't play until they did their investigation, and then what was it? Then he got in trouble because he submitted a fake vaccination card.
Oh boy.
So he got suspended 21 games for that.
Mm.
So then he went to the Barracuda, San Jose Barracuda, the AHL. They waived him. He cleared waivers. They put him in the AHL. So while he's in the AHL, he was on protocol, I think, and decided that he wanted to go to Vancouver. So he crossed the border, and I don't think he had COVID or whatever. He had his test and whatever when he went over, I guess. But that was a breach of the AHL's protocol. So at that time, they terminated the contract, which he's, from what I read, I think he's out like 23 or 26 million because he signed a 7-year deal, $49 million contract, and they terminated that. So he pretty much out that money. The NHL found, I believe, that San Jose was good with that, but the NHL Player Association filed a grievance. So that goes to an arbiter, and they decide he gets paid or not. And in the meantime, now he signed with Edmonton. And I think I caught the first game he played. It was early in the game. He tipped in a goal. And I think in 3 games, he's got 2 goals and an assist. So he's like a point a game.
Not bad.
And then last night, they played Washington, and was it Garnett or Garrett Hathaway just blew him up under the bench, put him in the Capitals bench.
He said, take a seat.
Yeah, he scored again. He scored in that game too, that they eventually won. So, roller coaster season. Hopefully, this is, I think, probably his 4th team that hopefully he can get his shit together and
He's not
because he's a good player. He's a good player.
He's a pretty good player, man. He's not with San Jose no more, right?
No, he's in Edmonton. He's in Edmonton now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know what it is, but hopefully things go in the right direction off the ice and with his team.
I don't know this guy, because every time I turn around, I would see this guy. This guy is in some type of story. Something is, and it's never, he's a good player. So you would think it would be more about his hockey play on the ice, but it's not. It's always off the ice situations that he'll get into, and then but hopefully he'll get his stuff together and will help Edmonton.
Yeah, like I said, I hope he does too. He's been a breath of fresh air for Edmonton. I mean, from going to the AHL, playing in the AHL to playing on the first line with McDavid, that's not a bad swing. No. So hopefully he gets it together off the ice and with his team, and continues to flourish because he can be a great player. He can be.
I mean, and the team is 23-16. So I mean, All right,
well, here's my hockey joke. D is my hockey joke. He just has to be cool, man. He has to chill out. Boom, boom. No? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be here all night, folks. I'll be here all night. Thank you.
You forgot that. But
yeah, no.
Dan, we appreciate you coming through for with the NHL hockey or any hockey. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, before we go on the subject of hockey, I wanted to let you know your boy got his jersey retired at MSG.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool moment. He's like, I always remember you guys having it. I don't know how it happens, but like, you went from Van Beesbrook to Richter, to Lundqvist. Like, you had a good run of goaltending there, and probably one of these two cats you got now will probably going to be the same thing where they just hang around and win a bunch of games.
Yeah.
With King Henrik, I tell you what, we had the hardest time with him until late in his career. I forget what year it was, but he got pissed off. We came in on a breakaway. He was mad about something. And I don't know, we bumped him or something. Guy's coming in on a breakaway. He just turns around and goes, poof, chucks the net off the moorings. Just looks at the referee. Like he end up getting a delay game penalty. And from that point on, that's when we kind of figured out.
I think with Lundqvist, the Rangers could never find another scorer. They could never really find another scorer to put them over the top. And that 2016 year when they went to the no, not 2016, 2015, when they faced the Kings in the Stanley Cup Finals, and you can clearly see that the Kings were the better team and the Rangers didn't have enough scoring. I mean, every night, the King had them in the game, man. But when you got that scoring, man, it's kind of tough, man, to win 1-0 games all the time. 2-1 game all the time.
Seasons, man. Put it in, man.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He put that work in.
Because it was like him, Brodeur, Wall. I mean,
yeah, that was that era.
Yeah, Patrick Waugh, Martin Brodeur,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, it was tough, and to score goals back in too. You got all them good goalies.
Plus, they also had the neutral. What's that? The neutral zone trap that they didn't alleviate until when? When did they get rid of that?
Oh, that was probably early 2000s. That was the Devils' defense.
Yeah, get ready. Shout out to the Devils. Claude Lemieux.
Yeah, like when they were winning Stanley Cups, that's how they won.
Yep.
Because I want to say it was a playoff game against Philly, in Philly. And Chris Pronger was pissed off that they wouldn't come and chase the puck at all. That he sat in his own zone, and they would blow the whistle if you didn't move. So he would just sit there like he was out like at warm-ups. He'd just skate around, stick handle. He wouldn't leave the zone because they were just lined up across the neutral. And he's like, "You either come get the puck, or I'm going to sit here all day." And that's kind of why
rule change.
That rule changed, because
that was 2004, 2005. That was, after the lockout.
Yeah, because the NHL's like, "Hey, no, we can't have this in the playoffs. Yeah. Where you're just sitting in your own zone and not coming out, just holding the puck for 5 minutes."
Yeah. downing the puck.
Yep.
What that was. Yes.
That's
New
the
Jersey
flake gate
Devil.
with a puck. They just
Yeah.
let the air out of the puck.
If he didn't do it next year, he was going to bring a damn a lawn chair and just say, "Hey, I'm here." Yeah, no, go ahead, you guys play. I'm just sitting here with the puck.
Yeah, it was something else to see. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Damn, man. But Dan, we thank you for coming through with hockey. We appreciate you, brother.
No doubt.
The hockey, the side of hockey, the NHL, and explaining and doing what you do. We salute you, brother. Let me move on to Major League Baseball real quick. Ain't much to talk about. Jeff Passan says Major League Baseball on Thursday requested the immediate assistance of a federal mediator to help resolve the sports lockout. Sources told ESPN, potentially inserting the presence of a neutral party to end a work stoppage. Now in its third month, the league reached out to Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service, a governmental agency that attempts to help resolve labor disputes. Sources said mediation is not mandatory, and the MLB Players Association would need to agree to the involvement of third party. The lockout has been going on since December 2nd. DA, real quick, you are legal correspondent. What does this leave us at? And does baseball be on time this year?
It's basically they just want to me, the MLB is just doing a show of something that we're just doing something so ESPN can mention us, because like I told you, this thing will not be done until March. So you can come and mediate all you want, but they're not talking to you till March. So what'll happen is he'll come in or she'll come in. I guess they'll take the rest of February to vote and say, okay, well, do we need an arbitrator or do we not? So that'll go on for a month. And then sometime in early March, all of a sudden, right before pitchers and catchers, oh, we're okay now. We're okay. We'll play. We're good. We're good. Sorry, we're good. So.
The first game is supposed to be scheduled, the Boston Red Sox against the Atlanta Braves down in Disney World in Orlando. That's supposed to be the first game that takes place that day at 1:05, along with the Yankees and a whole host of teams playing that day. So those are the first games supposed to take place on spring training. Pitchers and catchers are supposed to report on Valentine's Day on that Monday, the 14th. So we got a little bit under 2 weeks.
Well, that's not going to happen. So
no, that's not going to happen.
It's February 3rd, and the 14th is in 2 weeks. So that's not going to happen.
Throw the ball at the wall. Let it come back to you.
Opening day is March 31st. So what are these guys? These guys are locked out. They can't do nothing. So this is going to be what? What are we? Whatever, baseball. Y'all gonna do it again.
Whatever.
Y'all gonna do this shit again. Okay. All right.
Let me move on. To D just put it out there, like, whatever. Yeah, I go again with y'all bullshit.
Johnny Raincloud there, Johnny Raincloud.
Tennis, something that we're gonna start mentioning more here. As tennis season heats up. The Australia Open goes to Rafael Nadal. He is currently the most winningest. He's the GOAT of tennis.
21.
That's 23. Right?
23. Excuse me. Yes. No. I'm sorry. It's 20. It's 21st. It's sorry, DW. Yeah, it's 21st.
I thought it was 21.
Yeah, it's 21st. Okay. So he's battling Djokovic and Roger Federer. That was a real good match. If you get a chance to see it, it's a real good match. He won that match 6-4 in 5 sets, and he's become the winningest person in tennis. Shout out to him. Sometimes I believe the last couple of years, ever since the Williams sister has been in it, men's tennis has taken a backseat. In my opinion, some people might disagree. Women's tennis has overshadowed men's tennis. But shout out to Rafael Nadal for his 21st win. Go ahead, D-Dub. What'd you have?
No, I would have to agree. I mean, the women's tennis has been it's been really good, but the men's tennis is always,
yeah, absolutely.
These guys are good. I mean, to play the way they play on that court, I mean, it's they kind of like boxers, man. It's only them. There ain't nobody else. Ain't nobody else to sub in and hey, I need timeout, take a break. It's very, very, very competitive and very draining. So, shout outs to him, man. That's big feat, 21 grand slams, man.
Yep.
Win single titles.
Yep.
You know, even though homeboy didn't play, even though he got
Joker got kicked out the country, but
got kicked out the country for what?
Yeah,
non-vaccine
for non-vaccination. Yeah.
he's not vaccinated, so
Yeah.
So that could have been a different story, but that's neither here nor there. Look for us to have a tennis correspondent real soon. I'm working on some things. We are working on some things to make sure we get everything covered. You know, like I said, I don't know. I know sports. I love sports, and I play them, but I'm not the expert when it comes to things like tennis, as Dan is. Wave your hand, Dan. So we're gonna get
Tennis or hockey.
you. Yeah, we're gonna get you. What'd you say, Dan? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Those stuff about tennis or hockey.
No, hockey. So
yeah. I don't know shit about that.
Yeah. Let's clarify. He has the back screen for hockey in the background. Yeah, the
hockey man.
Hockey Dan. Yes. So we're working on getting somebody for tennis, man. So like I said, it's called Sports Chasers for a reason. And look at DA's logo. He's got the basketball. He's got the we do it all, man. We just don't we just don't talk about just one thing, and that's what we do. I say this for last. Well, the NBA really well. Tom Brady, real quick. Tom Brady. Dan, your thoughts on Tom Brady retiring?
Finally.
Good riddance.
He killed us. I don't know how many times. So no, man. Once he went to Tampa Bay, I was happy. That to me was a retirement because I knew we wouldn't see him unless it was a Super Bowl. But no, man, the dude. I remember the game that we absolutely slammed Bledsoe. I was like, all right, sweet, we got this. They got the backup coming in. And then he came in and just absolutely torched us. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I think he hit 18 and 19 passes in a row.
The birth of Tom Brady that game.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
That was it.
And from that point on, I hated the dude. But that, you know what I mean? The dude, yeah, he just had an awesome career. Kudos to him. Going to Super Bowls, the MVPs, Deflategate. But yeah, and killing the Jets every year. What else can you say about the dude?
Every year.
I don't know that
the AFC East.
Yeah, I don't know in my lifetime that we'll see another quarterback that has the gaudy numbers, trophies, championships. And I don't know that will happen anytime soon. It may, but he was definitely a different breed. And to be doing it at his age, threw for 50,000 or 5,000 yards, and he's 44. Shit, getting out of bed at 44 is a tough chore for me.
You need some of that TB12, sir. TB12.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate what he did, except for when he did to us, but the Steelers. But hopefully he finds, he's going to find something to do. It's cruising on the yacht.
Well, he actually purchased a plot of land here in Indian Creek, Florida, down here in South Florida. So maybe I'll see, Tom and Giselle, out. Maybe. We'll see. What up, Tom? We beat you twice. The Giants beat you twice. Eli beat you twice. You know what I'm saying? D-Dub, you had anything on? No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna keep. Hold on for D-Dub. DA, what you had? Tom Brady.
I think Tommy is a great quarterback. Arguably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. To some, he is. That's not necessarily me, because I do not compare eras in football. I refuse to do that because the game is so changed from what they did in the 90s to what they are doing now. And yes, Tom started in the early 2000s, but that's still not the 80s. So I've been watching football a long time, and I believe what Tom Brady does is hard, especially with Patriots coming and going. But I think they always drafted the same type of receiver, so it's never that bad. So great player, probably one of the best of all time, in my opinion. Great quarterback and competitor. Good riddance.
Good riddance, Tommy. You heard it here. Good riddance, Tommy. I say D-Dub for last. D-Dub had a very good spin. He actually, if you holler at us on Instagram and TikTok, he gave a little 2-minute short on it, and I'm gonna let him expound on it. Go ahead, D-Dub.
No, all I said, shout out to Tommy, man. Tommy is now what should I call Platinum Tom, because he's going to be the one to actually like probably change the way we look at introduction to Hall of Fame. I'm with DA, kind of not, we can't kind of compare eras. He's the best in this era, in this time. Because you talk to some old school guys like my father. He told me Y.A. Tittle was the man. He said, "You remember him?" I said, "Pop, no."
No, you remember that day? Yeah, he told us.
No, I don't remember Y.A. Tittle. I know the name, but I didn't see.
He told me he was a giant. I said, "Yeah,
I know."
Boy.
Yeah. And then he was a Niner with the $1 million backfield.
Right. He was a Niner. Yes.
And he played with the Baltimore Colts. So Y.A. Tittle, he retired in '64. So it just depends. For what we've seen, what I've seen, Tom Brady has had a stellar career, man. There's nothing that you can say. I mean, a guy who's dominated the AFC East for almost 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the teams, Buffalo, Miami, and who am I missing? And the Jets. I mean, beat the same teams. I mean, you already know the AFC East was on lock. So everything else was pretty much, he did what he wanted. So, I mean, he had a stellar career. There's nothing really you can say about this guy. Deflate gate. I know I don't really put too much on that, man, because everybody had to use the same ball as far as I'm concerned. But, whatever. I mean, you can't take it away from him. Good quarterback, great quarterback, Hall of Famer. But he's definitely, out of all of this, he has made me say, we need to rethink this Hall of Fame stuff. And instead of giving out gold jackets, like, we need to move people up. So everybody can't get a jacket. I think this started with everybody get a trophy stuff. And, Tom Brady, the way his career and his accomplishment, he's platinum status. So, I think we need to start reconsidering how we do this Hall of Fame introductions and putting everybody in. I think I called DA earlier this week and we was talking about that. We have to find another way, because everybody can't get in or everybody can't get a jacket. Something's got to change. But shout outs to Platinum Tom.
I'll give my little dissertation on Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a great quarterback. One of the best in the game. I'm going to say he's the GOAT of this era. He just knew how to win, man. He took it. To me, he played with the biggest chip on his shoulder from the time he got drafted to the time that when he came in for Drew Henson, and he took over, and he just had the biggest chip on his shoulder. And was he the most athletic? No. Was he the most gifted? No. But one thing I heard earlier this week is he said he learned a lot from his dad, who's still living, and said that dad says, "Hey, you need to work harder than everybody else in order to be the best." And God knows that's the truth. This guy, he's found the fountain of youth with the TB12, and they say like he eats seaweed moss for lunch, dinner, and breakfast. He sacrifices a lot to make sure that his body's in tip-top shape to go out there and play football. DA, I'm going to speak for DA when, he says, and later on in his career, the NFL looked out for quarterbacks. And to me, I think that enables quarterbacks to play a little bit longer now, because the NFL protects the quarterback and they're not getting killed and hit as much as earlier when I first started watching football, when they used to tear people up. I mean, you youngsters that are watching, go watch Lawrence Taylor decapitate Joe Theismann on Monday Night Football. I can't even watch that. I won't watch it. I've never seen it. I people telling me, I said I don't want to see it. I never want to see it. Nope. The foot went one way and the leg went the other. Just think about that.
Yeah.
I remember.
I don't.
That was.
I do.
So it's definitely a different game. You can't hit him, and Brady absolutely is a recipient of that. Not taking away nothing from Tom Brady. Before you comment and go on Twitter and say, "Hey, the host and moderator," no, I'm not downplaying that. I'm just saying it's different eras. It's different things.
He definitely benefited.
He benefited. Well, he's still a great. He's still the greatest, man. He's still a great quarterback, man. His cerebral, his mindset, and how he do things. Salute to Tom Brady, man. Shout out to you, man. 7 Super Bowls, man. That's it. I don't even know if we're gonna even see that again, man. I don't even know if we'll see that again. Well, but shout out to him, and hey, man, enjoy your life, enjoy your retirement with your wife and kids, man. And that's all I gotta say on Tom Brady. Our last subject, real quick. The NBA, D-Dub, you're not an NBA correspondent, but I know you say Julius Randle, he got to go with the Knicks.
I just think so. It's the trade deadline of February 10th, and I think they need to do something because this Knicks team is just, Cinderella has turned into glass slipper, and it's just not the same team from last year. And I don't know. I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs if
I don't see them making
the way they look at John Morant. They played John Morant, the Memphis Grizzlies, and that team just ran all. I mean,
I cut it off.
You know the Knicks, they're a young team, but I mean that Grizzlies team is they young, fast. I mean, this guy is just forget about it, man. This guy is unreal. But the Knicks need to make some changes. Some changes. I've been seeing some rumblings. I don't know how true it is, so I'm not even going to mention it. But another one is we got Philadelphia with this whole Ben Simmons thing, man. I don't know how you just you're gonna let a guy just sit there and you're gonna pay him, and he's just sitting there and nothing's happening. And I think you're wasting the time and Joel Embiid's time, and I hope that's not the case because right now he's leading vote getter for the MVP.
Yeah, he's the best player in the league.
He's the best player, man. This guy, I'm like, this guy is freakish, man. If he just stays healthy, he probably he'll have that MVP. But not having Ben Simmons on his side, man, it's kind of beat up. But that's what it's looking like right now. But that's about it. Phoenix, the Suns are the right now best team in the West.
They're losing to Atlanta right now by 8 with a minute to go.
As I say that, yeah. But that's what's going on in the NBA right now. Steph Curry has come back down to earth, and I think he's found his game again. So now he's shooting again.
Yes.
The NBA. There's 2 more weeks before the NBA All-Star game. Just looked here at my my notes here. It says here Bill Fitch died. Legendary
coach.
Yes.
Did he?
Yeah, he passed away. Reports from Yahoo News. So condolences to the Fitch family. Great NBA head coach. The NBA revealed their, I believe I said it, their lineups for the All-Star game. I think we kind of said that if you want to break down from that, we'll have to give you a referral. You know how you can go to your doctor's office and
we'll get you a referral.
We'll get you a referral on NBA All-Star because it probably is not going to be here. I'm just going to be honest with you. And we're honest, right? We, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dan. 100%. Dan said, he didn't get a chance to watch the game. Maybe because he was mad or whatever. He said he just didn't watch the game. You get a chance to watch it. I understand. But I'm telling you right now, if y'all want coverage on the NBA All-Star game, we're going to give you a referral. So, like when you go to your doctor's office and, he'd be like, I don't really work on shoulder pain or anything like that. I'll let you go see the whatever. And he'll give you a note and you go see him. So we'll point you in the right direction where you need to go. Another podcast to get NBA all-star inside stuff, but it's probably not going to be here unless something really happens, man. But great show tonight. Kev, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kev, I got one thing.
Go ahead.
Divvy up, dive off into boxing real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I had that.
Got Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, he came off a loss to Tank Davis, Javante Tank Davis, and he will be facing Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman earlier today, I believe he said he would like to fight Errol Spence, and he's ready for Errol Spence. I would just like to see Errol Spence be ready for Bud Crawford. I mean, that's the fight that we want to see.
That's what we want to see. Yes,
but that's boxing for you. So you could check that fight out February 5th. What else is a good one? Chris Eubank, Liam Williams. We got Daniel Jacobs, the Miracle one against John Ryder. That's February 12th. Amir Khan and Kell Brook in Manchester, February 19th. That should be a good one. Check that one out. And that's about it until I know Tyson Fury signed a match to fight somebody.
I heard it the other day. You got that?
So that fight is coming. I don't have it off the rip right now, but those are the fights coming up. So 2022 looking pretty good right now, but we want to see these other fights. I'm sorry. Tyson Fury is expected to fight April 23rd in the UK. Dillian White is his opponent.
Okay. Any intel on Mr. White, or?
I don't have too much on Mr. White at this moment, but I will be doing some research for that. So check me out. Check us out in the next couple of weeks.
Gotcha, man. Appreciate that, D-Dub, with the D-Dub's our boxing correspondent. We appreciate him for coming through on the boxing tip. Parting shots, man. Really good show tonight. Before we do the parting shots, let me do Michael's job. We can be found. We're on YouTube right now. We're streaming on YouTube right now. We stream on YouTube every week. So look for us on YouTube. You want to go back and watch some other shows, go back on youtube.com. We're also on all podcast platforms. Mike says I love to say Deezer for whatever reason. Hey, we're on Deezer. We just got on Google. We're on Spotify. We're on all that stuff. Anywhere there's a podcast, we're on it.
And folks, subscribe, share, please.
All that stuff, man.
Let us know what we're doing, how we doing. Constructive criticism. I don't care what it is. You like us, you hate us. You don't like me. You don't like our beards. We look funny. Whatever. Just give us some feedback.
Wave at us.
Do something so we know what we're doing, and we're trying to give you what you want, and also give you the truth out here.
Gotcha. We can be found on all social media platforms. So if you want to get at us, again, we're on Twitter, sports _ chases at twitter.com. We're also on Facebook. Just search Sports Chasers Podcast.com. We're on Instagram, Sports Chasers Podcast. Instagram. We're also on TikTok, Sports Chasers Podcast. So we got it all covered as far as the social media and the podcast platforms. We are going to now have parting shots. We'll start with Dan. Dan, what you learned from today?
Oh, great show. Good to be a part of it. Hope everyone takes care and has a good week. We got the great NHL All-Star Weekend coming up, and then we got the Pro Bowl. So I know we got a lot of great sports coming up, lots to talk about.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to the next time. Get my notes down and talk about some good stuff. I did forget one thing about Arizona.
Go ahead.
And their stadium thing, but we'll get into that another time.
Oh, but they're playing in front of what, 3 people now?
We'll get into. That's why I said that's the one angry thing I forgot to get to, but we'll get to that later.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I had a great time.
Appreciate it, Dan. Appreciate it. DA, what you got for us, man?
Everybody, be calm, be cool, collected, and read a book. That's it.
Read a book. D-Dub, what you got for us, brother?
Yo, man, nothing really serious. Enjoyed my time. Yo, shout out to all of y'all for liking, subscribing, sharing. Um, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Just trying to get better every day. Everybody just be good to one another. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks, D-Dub, for that. Next week, yeah. We'll get more. Well, next week we'll get more into covering the Super Bowl. There's a 2-week lull in between the Super Bowl. By then, the Bengals should be touched down and ready to work. So we'll get into that and what's the game and the prospects of the game, things of that nature. I'm pretty sure there'll be more stuff coming out about Coach Brian Flores and his class action suit against the National Football League and many more. But other than that, hey, great show. Had a really good time today. Have a great time all the time I come on here. Love talking sports. We're working on, so like I said, we're working on some things. We're working on also making it where people can call in, man. So call in or type your question in, and we'll have that segment, man. We'll have 1 or 2 people call in and just ask us, questions concerning sports. We'll get to that. But I had a good time tonight. Shout out to Dan, for coming through for the hockey, DA and D-Dub. Yeah. In the absence of the angry one, Eric and Mike Mills. Shout out to both those guys, man. They could not be here tonight, but they're with us in our thoughts, and I know they're thinking of us and probably looking at us if they're not with us. But we appreciate them, man, so much. And I appreciate all you guys here and the Sports Chasers podcast for doing what we do. And this is what we do, man. We chase the sports. We talk about the sports. We have great conversation about the sports. And as you can see, we keep it gully. We keep it funky. As you say, we'll give you also a referral for the NFL Pro Bowl because we're not talking about that. I made an executive decision. So if you want to DM me, hey, Sports Chasers podcast, if you want some more on the NFL on their Pro Bowl, I will refer you.
Matter of fact, we might be just off next week, and we'll see you the week after. So, with that being said, go ahead.
Well, go ahead, D-Dub. Go ahead. Give the outro.
With that being said, I am D-Dub. K-Dub, Dan, PA. See y'all next, or maybe 2 weeks. Peace.
Yo, this is a Sports Chasers podcast. Yo, y'all be good. Peace. That was funny.